your official home for everything CORT. You're tuned in to the fastest show in sim racing, the CORT Report, your one-stop shop for news pertaining to the CORT Training Paints Championship Series, the CORT National Series, and anything else happening in the world of CORT. And now, the two guys who will bring it all to you.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the CORT Report. I am David Damboys, and wait a minute, I'm not David Damboys, and you're not John Dragonetti.
I'm not John Dragonetti. Who the hell am I?
I think you're Matt Trace.
Oh, that's right. I am Matt Trace. I am Matt Trace. Alongside me is Pete Engelmanis. We are doing the CORT Report this week. I hope everybody enjoys this. Pete, how are you this evening?
I am doing quite well, sir. That is correct. We are hijacking the CORT Report tonight. No Damboys, no Dragonetti. All the usual suspects will not be making an appearance tonight. How are you doing tonight, Trace?
I am doing fantastic. Can't complain, I guess.
Very well. We are here tonight to review the Firestone Firehawk 300K. Turned out to be quite an eventful race. Had a little bit of controversy at the end. So a few things moving forward. Season finale, what caps off a fairly good season, I would say, is inaugural. We had 5 out of 14 races broadcast. That's quite an accomplishment. Of course, everybody knows we have the entire schedule broadcast on TSTV next week. So, Trace, what do you say we get started here on the race review?
I completely agree. Let's get rolling.
Alrighty then. So we're in Firestock. Wow, I can't even talk anymore. I'm so excited to be on the CORT Report tonight. We ran the Firestone Firehawk 300K, obviously 150 laps, 300 kilometers at Texas last night. Trace, if you want to give us a quick rundown, how did your night go?
Well, my night went pretty good up until about lap 58 when I got involved in a little incident with Andrew Hayes, but that's all put behind us. Started out the night pretty good, top of the charts in practice. Didn't qualify as well as what I was hoping to, and I wish my results would have reflected how well I ran in that race, but overall, it was a good performance in general for the number 16 GoDaddy Dalera.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone knows what I did last night, hopefully. If you didn't catch it, I finished fairly well. Lit 48 laps, ran a good race, somehow got up there at the end. I think with 13 to go, the announcers on the broadcast were actually counting us out in the little group we had. But Dragonetti, Tyler Tucker, Husby, and I, we ran the leaders down, and I ended up winning, and Husby came home second, so we'll do the full race rundown for you now. 18 drivers started the Firestone Firehawk 300K last night. Brian Bliss, he had a really rough race last night. I was watching the replay this afternoon, Trace, and Brian spun out right off the initial start. Was that anywhere close to you?
That was fairly close. I mean, that was actually right in front of me. And I've talked to Brian a couple of times now, and he told me that he did start the race in second gear. So I don't know if it was just that he hit the gas and spun the tires or what, but he was pretty disappointed. I would be too, wrecking on the first lap of a big race like that.
Yeah, Brian only completed 13 circuits. Patrick O'Toole was finishing 17th. Our championship winner, Eric Mickey, came home in the 16th position. Johnny Williams, good to see him back as usual, came home 15th. Our fearless leader, David Damboys, did not have the night he wanted to have. Finished 115 laps down in the 14th position. Kyle Young came home 13th in his 1,000th start. I just want to say congratulations to Kyle on his 1,000th league start. Trace, what do you think about that?
That's an amazing feat. 1,000 league starts is just incredible, and it shows how dedicated he really is to being a good online racer. And again, congrats, Kyle, for the 1,000th start. Unfortunately, you had a bad break go your way, and you couldn't finish it like you needed to. But overall, it was pretty exciting to see you get 1,000 career starts and have it on PSTV and over here at CORT. So congratulations.
Our dear friend Will Roberts finished 12th, 106 laps down. I have no idea what happened to him. I think he got caught up in the incident with Damn Boys. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I believe he came out of turn 2 at one point during the race and hit the wall, and I think that's what ended his night. I think he took himself out, to be honest.
And Will, if you're listening to this, roll tide. Trace, you finished in 11th position. Andrew Hayes, our defending champion, finished in 10th, 38 laps down. I believe he parked himself after that incident with you. Joseph Servone, the birthday boy. Happy birthday, Joseph, if you're listening to this. And we are filming it, or taping this on your birthday. So when you listen to this, it probably will no longer be your birthday. Cody McCorkle, who ran up in the top 5 as late as the final restart of the race, finished 8th, 3 laps down. And Matt Harrington, who ran out of gas with 2 laps to go after having a very, very impressive and very strong night, leading the most laps with 76, finished 7th. Tim Silliman, Trace, go ahead and butcher his name.
Tim Sillyman. I had to, Tim. Somebody has to.
Tim finished -1 lap in 6th place. Now we get to the rest of the cars on the lead lap. John Dragonetti finished 5th. Once again, thank you, John, and thank you for not showing up tonight so we can do this. Thomas Morris finished a very strong season in 4th place. Tyler Tucker had a good run from dead last to 3rd. Our dear friend Mike Husby, whose grandma, I don't know if you knew this, Trace, Husby's grandma actually escaped from Alcatraz and hitchhiked all the way to the Texas Motor Speedway to see him race. And not only that, she provided a pasta meal for the teams before the race started. So, I mean, that's a pretty eventful week for a 135-year-old woman, don't you think?
Yeah, that's pretty eventful. I wish I would have got some of that big spaghetti bowl everybody was talking about. That sounded pretty good. I wish it would have gave me extra downforce or something. You know, I could have ran better and not been so slow.
I think that's what helped me. It must have been the pasta. And last but not least, I was able to win the Firestone Firehawk 300K. Once again, we had a very fast Mobil 1 Audi, led 48 laps, and just kind of went balls to the wall there at the end. Not much more you can say about that. So that race capped the inaugural CORT Training Paint season. We'll just do a quick recap of the top 10 for you in points. Eric Mickey was your champion by 47 points over Thomas Morris. Mike Husby, the grandmother-loving pasta aficionado, finished 3rd. John Dragonetti, the normal co-host on the CORT Report, finished 4th. Now, Alex Boffoli finished in 5th, which was a shame because he was in the championship battle for a good amount of the season, missed some races. But, Alex, if you do listen to this, I don't think there's any question in anyone's mind that you were the most impressive driver this year. Winning 4 races, probably could have won 5 if Indy had it went a little differently. Very, very, very impressive run this year, and hopefully you're able to run the whole thing next year. And all right, moving forward, Andrew Hayes, our defending series champion, finished 6th in the CORT Training Paints Championship Series. Andrew did not win a race this year, did not sit on a pole. 5 top 5s, 9 top 10s. Obviously not the year he was looking for his repeat. I know he'll be stronger next season. Our very own David Damboys finished 7th in points. Tyler Tucker, despite only making 9 starts, finished in 8th spot. Tim Silliman finished 9th, and Scott Olson finished 10th. Trace, it was certainly an interesting first season for the CORT Training Paint Series. IndyCar mod, I think, was new to a lot of people. I think we all adjusted to it fairly well. Do you have a general overview, what your thoughts on the season, or any impressions that you got from this season looking forward?
Yeah, I mean, I only ran the 2 races I did, which was Laguna Seca and Texas, and both times, yeah. So Laguna Seca, I'm not a road course guy. I'll admit it. That was probably the worst race I've ever done in my life. But based on Texas, probably had some of the best racing I've ever done. Um, in general, I thought the car count, even for Texas, was pretty good. 18 plus cars. And then if you look at the standings, at least there was 38 drivers that had at least one start this season, and only a handful only did a one and done. So that's really impressive, and I'm actually glad to see that CORT was strong this year, and hopefully next year or in April when the season starts up again, get car counts like that again.
I think the broadcasting of all the races next year is going to be huge for this series, because I think we saw towards the middle of the schedule, there was a little bit of dwindling car counts, and in the last couple of weeks, I wouldn't say the car counts were never horrible by any means, but to be around the 20 car range per race, I think is what this series can do. Being broadcast every week will certainly help that. Now, as far as the way the season ended, obviously there's some stuff to be tweaked, but I mean, it's the first season. Stuff's going to happen. I think everything went fairly well, all things considered. Now, speaking of tweaking, don't forget, guys, the owner meeting is on February 11th at 8 p.m., our normal start time. That's Monday, February 11th. Basically an open forum to discuss any rule changes, any changes to the series, or anything you would like to discuss moving forward. We want to hit on that. Now, personally, next season for the Trading Paint Series, Trace, I don't know what my schedule is going to look like. Probably be able to hit Homestead, planning on hitting Indy. Other than that, Michigan's a possibility, but who knows? Who knows what I'm going to be up to next year? So 3 races for sure, likely. Any more than that, I would say, I don't know. We'll have to see if Texas is still on the schedule for next year. I know that there was some talk last night about getting rid of it due to the style of racing that was produced. Very, very hard to pass. Basically, you had to hug the bottom or else you'd get screwed. The Highline really didn't work once you got to the front because no one was checking up at the front, but I think we'll see what happens for next year. As far as I know, Texas is on the schedule, but it may be reviewed as well. So, Trace, what do you say we move on and talk about the National Series here a little bit?
Oh, I completely agree. I'm excited. I'm ready to talk about the National Series. Class B cars? Heck yeah.
So the Class Bs, last week we ran at Michigan. Dakota Ehrman was your winner. I finished second. John Dragonetti finished third. It was a very, very green race. Lots of fun at Michigan. The track's about 4 lanes wide, and you can use the whole thing. Next weekend we're headed to, this Wednesday's off, nobody forget that. Next week we're headed to the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Very slick racetrack. I've heard that handling is going to be a big factor. So everybody's going to have to conserve tires, be smart, race the racetrack. One of my personal favorite places to go just because how wide the track is and how fast we're going. Trace, one of your favorites coming up in February, on February 13th. It'll be the Alabama 300 from Talladega. Tell us a little bit about that.
Talladega, one of my favorite tracks. Got my first ever NR 2003 win there. I believe it was still Cascor at the time. And I couldn't think, actually, I'll say right here, I couldn't do it without Pete being behind me, Pete and Husby and all them that were pushing me to the win, helping me get my win. But one track I'm always looking forward to, I always somehow end up near the front towards the end of that race, and hopefully I can get breaks to go my way and maybe pick up a win there. Definitely looking forward to that one, and definitely Charlotte again. I didn't get a chance to run the Charlotte race this time around, but one of my favorite tracks. I love racing there. Seems like it's a tight little 2.5 mile track, like Texas and whatnot, but it's fast and usually puts on a pretty good race. So they're definitely the 2 big races I'm looking forward to running in.
I'm looking forward to Indianapolis. To me, that's always one of my favorite places. It's a real driver's track to me. You have to be able to drive the car well. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what that race is like when we get to it. I imagine it'll be kind of like the Indy cars get spread out into packs. I imagine this will spread out just due to the nature of the beast. Other than that, there's not a whole lot to say about it. It's going to be an interesting race. There's some really cool races left on the schedule that we have. Of course, you have the aforementioned Indy, you have Talladega, we head to Richmond, you have Bristol, which who knows what's going to happen there. Charlotte, you have Darlington, and then we cap it all off at Las Vegas. Just a quick go over of those series points for the National Series. John Dragonetti is starting to open up a bit of a lead over Cody McCorkle, David Dambois, and Mike Husby. We have a three-way tie for second place right now, Trace.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting battle. And John Dragonetti, from what I've seen, has been pretty consistent. 6 starts, 6 top 5s. I mean, he's going to be a tough little character to beat, but I think John can do it. If not, Husby's in the mix. Dambois is all there. You have that three-way tie for second. So this could be one of those things where if John makes a mistake or anything like that, and these guys get within couple points, I think we could have ourselves a little championship battle when it comes down to the last race. Maybe Tony Stewart, Carl Edwards-esque.
We'll have to see. John's going to have to slip up. So far, he's run 6 races, now 6 top 5s with an average finish of 2.7. So it's certainly not going to be easy to beat John. Your top 10 points right now, as previously mentioned, Dragonetti, McCorkle, Dambois, Husby, all tied for second place. After that, you have Harrington in 5th, Will Roberts is 6th, Joseph Cervone is 7th, I am in 8th, Kyle Young 9th, Braden Oakley 10th. So far, we've had 24 different drivers run in the not the training pace series. I'm still stuck on that. The National Series, we've had 24 different drivers in the National Series. Hopefully, we can get a little bit better car counts for that series. It is a lot of fun. So, I mean, if you can get out and run the National Series on a Wednesday night, that'd be great. Anything else to add, Trace, about the National Series?
Other than, like Pete said, I'm guilty of it. I've entered myself a couple times and haven't been able to show up due to other things coming up, but I'm still on the fence on whether I want to do Atlanta or not. Not too sure if I'm going to be able to do good at Atlanta, but definitely come out, support the National Series, and just support CORT in general. I mean, the more drivers, it makes the potential more fun and a better race. And what else? What's better than having a better race and having a little fun with it too?
Yeah, the series has been really good so far. Hopefully, more people come out and support it. Now, Trace, let's ditch the CORT talk here for a minute. As we all know, this Sunday is the Super Bowl. Trace, do you have any picks or anything going into that game? What do you think is going to happen?
I have picks. I definitely have picks. For those of you that obviously might not be aware of who is in the Super Bowl because you absolutely don't care, it's Baltimore and San Francisco, and I felt like San Francisco has been the best team in the NFC since Colin Kaepernick came in. And you got to remember, Colin Kaepernick has only started 9 games and has led his team to the Super Bowl. From my understanding, a lot of people are going with Baltimore because of their defense. You obviously got Ray Lewis, Bernard Pollard, Ed Reed, Terrell Sugg, etc. But I'm going on the 49ers bandwagon. 5-0 in the Super Bowl. They're going to make it 6-0. It hurts me to say that being a Cowboys fan. I do not want to see the 49ers be the first NFC team to 6. But I will surely take it. I have them beating Baltimore 27-21, a 6-point differential. I think Colin Kaepernick is just going to be too fast for Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and all them. And I think it's going to be a good game, though. I really do. It's going to be an exciting game. So even if you're not a football fan, enjoy, watch it. Watch the commercials for all I care. Just enjoy the Super Bowl. It's a good day to sit around, eat, drink, and watch some hard-hitting football.
The 3 days a year, you're allowed to eat whatever the hell you want and get away with it, and eat as much as you want. Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, Super Bowl Sunday. Period. If you're going to a party, enjoy it. Enjoy the game. I know, Trace, you and I talked about this earlier. I'm very torn on this pick for this game. My head tells me to go with the Niners. My gut's telling me to go with the Ravens. In the end, I think the Niners will get it done. I think it'll be a close game. I hope it's a close game. I think it'll be about a 4-point game. Now, the way I see Baltimore winning is if the Niners start incredibly slow. Again, like they did against Atlanta, if they get down by 20 points, I'm not sure that Baltimore's D will allow them to get back into it. The Niners need to show up in the first quarter in this game. Basically, I think the dual threat of Kaepernick's speed, will be a little bit too much for the Ravens. Obviously, he's going to need good protection from his O-line. I was reading in a magazine today, though, it said it had an interesting matchup. It was Ray Lewis versus LaMichael James, and it was saying that Ray Lewis would be key against because the Niners like to run what's called a toss sweep, where they basically just give it to the running back and he ducks outside, which James is very, very fast, and that actually gave the edge to the Ravens. And I just want to say I disagree with that. Ray is a very, very good player, but he's not what he once was. He's slowed down. For me, the key is if they can contain Frank Gore, if they can contain LaMichael James, and speed kills in this league, and the Niners have a lot of it with Crabtree, Vernon Davis, Michael James, Kaepernick. I think eventually, in the end, it's just going to be too much for the Ravens. So hopefully everyone enjoys the game on Sunday, and I'm sure it'll be an interesting one. I know most people will be have their attention focused on it. So other than that, I mean, I really don't think there's too much to talk about. It's a fairly uneventful week here at Court, other than the Texas race, which we all know about. So once again, I'll just remind everyone that the Training Paint Series is off until April. We have that meeting coming up February 11th, and the National Series returns next Wednesday at Atlanta at 8 p.m. like normal. You all know the rules. So if you have only been running the Trade and Paint Series, maybe come out and support the National Series next Wednesday night. Also, I'm being told by our producer, who shall remain nameless, that the court report, this report, will be away next week unless Trace and I decide to hijack it again for no apparent reason, which doesn't seem too likely, considering this is the first podcast we've done in probably about 4 years, I'd say, Trace.
Somewhere around there. But on a side note, Pete, you're not going to watch the Puppy Bowl, are you?
I don't think I will. I just don't see it. It's not in the cards, man.
I tell you what, the odds are pretty high for some puppy to score a touchdown. I'm guaranteeing you it's going to be like a 3-1 odds of some puppy scores a touchdown and the crowd goes wild.
Are you going to watch the Lingerie Bowl, Trace? I think that's what everyone, including Mike Husby, is more interested in.
I'm going to keep that as an anonymous answer. You guys will just have to find out if I watch the Lingerie Bowl.
I don't think I want to know the answer to that question. Trace, like we used to do on the old NazraRacing.blogspot.com, Nazra Now podcast, do you have any final thoughts?
I do. I have a couple final thoughts. First off, I want to throw this out there. I don't want to make it to be on a negative side, but I do want to give a shout out to my hometown, my old high school, Mechanicsburg High School. Unfortunately, today there was a student who was a senior, had a medical emergency, and he passed away today. I want to say thoughts and prayers to his family, the Wilson family. Besides that, again, we keep saying it, but first off, thank you, Dave, thank you, John, for letting us do this, and thank you, you guys, for all the admins that keep Court running and all that. It's a fun place to run, despite sometimes there might be issues, which you have that, it happens. I will say it's a good place to run, and hopefully the car counts can stay up and we can continue to make this league successful. I mean, I want to see this place succeed, and like Nazra and Cascor did, and hopefully it's one of the top-notch leagues and everybody will want to run in it. Pete, how about you? What's your final thoughts?
I really don't have too much to add. I mean, thanks thanks, Dave, and thanks, John, for letting us hijack your show, I guess, and do this for 1 week. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing everyone out at Atlanta. So for Matt Trace, I am Pete Engelmanis. We've had a good time here tonight doing this. It's nice to get out and do this again for the first time in a long time. Just everyone head on over to www.courtracing.com for keep up to date with all the latest court news, and follow at Court World Series on Twitter and at Court National Series. So once again, for David Danboys, Pete Engelmanis, and Matt Trace, I am signing off, and we'll see you next time.
Can't forget John Dragonetti.
John Dragonetti. So, according to our producers, thanks a lot, guys, we have to run this interview with some guy who calls the races for us, I guess. I think his name's Ben Kilcrease. He does something for TSTV. I'm not sure what it is. Probably, I don't know. He sounds like a button pusher to me. So here's an interview that's pre-recorded. Obviously not as awesome as Trace and I talking for 15 more minutes, but here you go.
All right, welcome back to the Court Report. David Amboys, John Dragonetti.
Hey.
How's it going? We've got a special guest with us all the way from TSTV, TeamSplosionTV.com. It's Ben Kilcrease.
How are you guys tonight? It's good to be here.
It's good to have you here, and
Doing well.
We're glad to have you here for our announcement. And once again, just to get our listenership to know that next season they will be able to watch every single Court Training Paints race on TeamSplosionTV.com starting Monday, April 1st, 9 p.m. Eastern. And Ben, as the head admin here, and as you running TSTV, we're really looking forward to beginning this partnership.
I'm really excited to come on board with Court. Like you mentioned, around 9 Eastern when the race kicks off. You want to tune in a little bit before that, though. We're going to have a pre-race show, a little bit, 15 till. But like you said, I'm really excited. My guys are really excited. Sam's really excited. Andy Zane. Matt, it's going to be a great season coming up starting April 1st.
I got a quick question for you. For the season coming up, is there anything special you got going on?
Well, we're going to start implementing some dual camera action, live racing with replays. Hopefully start implementing that. We've also got a new website coming out at the beginning of February. So that's going to make the site look better. We're also going to be tweeting more often, so you're going to be able to stay up to date on Twitter, Facebook. We're also going to be adding a few new overlays here and there, a bunch of commercials, just a bunch more eye candy stuff, and we might even add a crew member here and there.
Ooh.
Looking forward to it. Now we're for the dual camera angles, I understand you got to have a whole nother iRacing account to do that, right?
Yeah, well, we have producers. Our main ones, Matt Wise, Sam Taylor's going to be doing the IndyCar stuff. So Sam, don't want to get too into it. I don't want to give all our secrets out. But basically, Sam's going to stream up. Then Matt's going to have a stream up. We copy Matt's stream, put it on Sam's stream, and it makes a nice little pretty dual cam side by side.
That's going to be kind of interesting, actually. You're going to be doing more like in-car stuff, you think, with that?
Yes, we are going to be implementing in-car cameras. One of my ideas is have in-car, say we're in a 10-car pack at, let's just say, Atlanta, and we want to see what it's like from the back of the pack. So we'll have an in-car camera with the guy's back of the pack, and then we'll have another camera on the whole pack itself. Also, if you notice on our in-car, Sam's got it to where he can hook up to an analog joystick, which will enable him to turn the camera and make it look more realistic. And that's our goal here, make it look more realistic, give the viewers the best possible broadcast that we can.
Oh, that is really cool. I don't know if anyone else does that, but that is a cool idea. Get an actual joystick, because I believe the actual in-car cameras that NASCAR and IndyCar and all those series use actually do operate on a joystick. So that's really cool.
It is. It takes a little bit of practice for Sam to begin with, but once he gets used to it, or he's getting pretty used to it now. Both of our producers are. Once they start getting used to it, they'll be able to start producing more better-looking stuff. At first, it kind of looks a little bit video game-ishy. That's kind of in some of our private tests, but on the actual broadcast, it's gonna look pretty bad in.
I honestly cannot wait for that. That's gonna be incredible.
Yeah, and one of the cool things that I like about you guys over at TSTV is that you guys are just like us here at Court. You guys just want to have fun. So it's a real simple partnership, really. It's you guys came to us, you guys said, hey, we want to have fun. And we said, hey, we like to have fun too. And let's make it work together. So that's how it basically came together. And we are definitely looking forward to extending this partnership for future seasons.
Oh yeah, I'd love to get back here. Sam and I, or Matt and I, we've all hung out over here in you guys' TeamSpeak for a few nights, and a good bunch over here. Quite comical. Really enjoy it. Like you said, I hope you have us back for seasons and seasons to come.
Absolutely. So I'm going to let you get out all the plugs. It's TeamSplosionTV.com, but how do people get reach on Facebook and Twitter? Because I know you guys have got those pages up.
You can search Team Explosion TV on Facebook, like us there. We should be getting close to 100 likes, and when we get to 100 likes, we're going to give away $25, a $25 gift card to wherever you want to go. On Twitter, it's at Team Explosion TV. We've got one of our guys tweeting pretty much all throughout every race we do. So if you want to stay up to date, at Team Explosion TV on Twitter and Team Explosion TV on Facebook.
Look at that, $100, $100 anywhere you want. Can't complain about that at all. What's wrong? I mean, it's $100 gift card. Come on, like their page. Plus, that you'll get the archives quicker that way. Bam, you'll see it right there on your newsfeed on Facebook. Bam, Lace Court race, starting April 1st at 9 p.m. Eastern on TeamSplosionTV.com. Anyways, Ben, we appreciate you coming on the show, and we look forward to hearing from you again.
I enjoyed being here. Can't wait to get this season kicked off. Last night was great. This season's going to be even better.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ben Kilcrease, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with more of the Court Report, Court Racing.